Good, happy Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, Jamestown canyon virus identified in batches of mosquitoes in 2 New Hampshire towns, DHHS says. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
As experts are telling us that the risk that the virus could be transmitted to humans is low, still they are encouraging people to take steps to protect themselves.
2 batches of mosquitoes collected from Hampstead and Atkinson at the beginning of August have tested positive for Jamestown canyon virus.
Showing up mostly late summer. That seems to be when we start seeing our rising numbers, and usually first in mosquito pools, but sometimes occasionally in people. But it does seem to be a virus that we have more often in late summer here in New Hampshire.
Dr. Alex Cranach, an infectious disease physician with Catholic Medical Center, says the symptoms, if any, are usually mild.
As with many similar viruses, most people who get infected don't know they have it. They have no symptoms. A small number of individuals might develop fevers.
The CDC says on average 16 cases are reported in the U.S. each year, and there is a significant underdiagnosis and underreporting of less severe cases. Doctors recommend taking steps to protect yourself.
Some mosquitoes tend to be feeding at dawn and dusk. Some tend to feed at night. If you do go outside during those hours using a good insect repellent, I usually recommend DEET because it works.
Since the virus was first detected in New Hampshire in 2013, there have been a total of 19 cases in the Granite State. And again, there is no vaccine to prevent it. Reporting live in Atkinson, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Community rallies behind family after deadly crash in Albany. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa, sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fast. How fast? 2 gig download and upload fast. But we know speed isn't everything. That's why we also offer whole home Wi-Fi connectivity, an easy-to-use app, and so much more. Plus, Fidium eliminates data caps, gimmicks, and hidden fees. Finally, there's internet that's flexible, friendlier, faster for you. Yeah, you, and whatever you do.
It's like the worst thing you could ever imagine for anybody.
Unimaginable tragedy for one New Hampshire family. 8-year-old Gabriel Simpson dead after a crash on Route 16 in Albany. Police say a pickup truck was heading south when it collided with a car, causing that car to crash into another vehicle. His mother Christine and father Kyle both suffered serious injuries, as well as Gabriel's 11-year-old brother Jeremiah, a lifelong best friend.
His broken leg will heal. It's the time to get over losing a brother is... I don't think you can move on from that. It's awful.
A GoFundMe has been created to help cover some of the family's financial stress while they recover from their injuries, which longtime family friend Kevin Leonard says could take months.
You hope they heal physically, just mentally, that's the long road for sure.
Christine works as a hairstylist at a studio in Bedford.
It just breaks my heart.
Owner Mariana Bortolassi says they're holding her chair while she recovers and are helping with her clients.
But I want her to know that she's not alone, that she has people that can help her, that she has support, that as much that she's giving out and pouring out into others, we can pouring out into her life and her family.
Manchester schools are offering grief services for students, families, and staff tomorrow at McDonough Elementary School and the Manchester School of Technology. You can find more information about that and a link to the fundraiser on our website and mobile app. In the studio, Hannah Cotter, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Salem police confirm shooting at mall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa, sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fast. How fast? 2 gig download and upload fast. But we know speed isn't everything. That's why we also offer whole home Wi-Fi connectivity, an easy-to-use app, and so much more. Plus, Fidium eliminates data caps, gimmicks, and hidden fees. Finally, there's internet that's flexible, friendlier, faster for you. Yeah, you, and whatever you do.
Tonight, Salem police confirming a shooting at the Rockingham Park Mall. Told it happened around 6. One person was brought to the hospital with the victim shot in the hand. Officers saying it's unclear how many people were even involved, but they're all believed to have known each other. At this point, nobody's in custody. We're told there is no threat to the public.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester man accused of assaulting 2 people with baseball bat held without bail. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
Well, the suspect is now facing 1 count of first-degree assault, 1 count of second-degree assault. Both of those are felonies, but he's been ordered held on preventative detention due to the violent nature of those alleged crimes.
26-year-old Drew Fortier from Manchester appeared in court in handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit Monday morning after he was arrested last Friday, accused of assaulting 2 people with a baseball bat early Thursday morning. According to court paperwork, the attack happened at this home on Foyt Street in Manchester. The affidavit alleges the attack was not random and that Fortier knew both his victims.
Counsel, what plea would you like entered?
Not guilty.
Fortier's defense team argued he be released from custody on personal recognizance bail, citing his lack of a criminal record and the fact that only one witness, one of the victims, linked him to the crime.
He was not found at the scene. There's no physical evidence that ties him to the scene.
The other victim remains in critical condition at the Elliott Hospital, suffering from a fractured skull.
This is an extremely violent assault that doesn't really seem to have any impetus for the assault, which I think adds to the dangerousness level.
The defense tried to argue that the attack happened between the 2 victims, but prosecutors say evidence disputes that.
It appears to me that the male victim in this case has some defensive wounds on his forearms and also some wounds to his face. I don't have any reason to believe that he was the perpetrator of the violence.
And the judge ultimately sided with the state and ordered that Fortier be held in custody. If convicted of both crimes, he could face up to 22 years in prison. Live in Manchester tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester School Board approves district minimum wage hike to $15 per hour. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa, sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fast. How fast?
Well, in a move to attract new hires and retain old ones, higher wages are coming to Manchester School District.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
The school board there applauding in a raise for about 400 positions. Minimum wage will now be set at $15 an hour, up from the previous $12. Also getting the green light tonight, the CDC COVID guidelines for the upcoming school year.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Drivers urged to avoid diversions routes as MBTA's Orange Line shutdown rolls into day 2. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
I never thought I'd buy flooring from a service I saw on TV, but I heard great things about National Floors Direct. I saved $2,000 off my best quote and no interest for 1 year.
At National Floors Direct, we offer next-day installation on name brand carpet and hardwood floors. Call 888-400-FLOOR.
Doug, it is, but those shuttle buses get going early, and they have pulled in here at Malden Center. They're ready to go for another day. Yesterday's commute did go smoothly, although many people told us that taking those shuttle buses certainly made their commutes longer than usual. Overall, ridership was just moderate on Monday. Those Orange Line riders who did commute into Boston told us that commuter rail trains were not overly crowded and delays were minimal. Commuters also told us that MBTA agents on the ground were especially helpful fielding their questions about how they could get to where they needed to go. But officials say the real test is still ahead.
The real test of how this period is going will come when schools are all back in session and Boston Public Schools start later next month.
Just over 2 weeks away now. Congestion on surface roads is also a concern, with many lanes repurposed and restricted to buses only right now. City officials are encouraging people to avoid driving in the city during peak commuting hours, if at all possible. For now, we're live in Malden this morning. Jennifer Egan, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Downed power lines have shuttles replacing trains on MBTA's Green Line. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
I can tell you right now, this is affecting anyone that rides the B branch of the Green Line. You can see those shuttle buses behind me. Essentially, right now, the T tweeted out a short time ago that shuttle buses will be replacing trolley service between Boston College and the Babcock Street due to power problems. And we can show you some video potentially why. The T did not say specifically in their tweet what exactly the problem is, but we can tell you that at 3 this morning, MBTA crews were seen further down on the B branch at the Washington Street where it meets Comm Ave, where a power line was hanging across the tracks. Again, we are still waiting on more information from the T, including how long these shuttle buses were replacing trolley service. But if you take the B branch of the Green Line, this is now impacting both inbound and outbound. You can see a gentleman right now getting on that bus. So again, this is anyone on the B branch who are going to be having to take trolleys between Boston College and Babcock. As soon as we get an update from the T, we'll bring you that information. But for now, live in Boston, Matt Reed, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Cape Elizabeth Town Council sends proposed $115 million school project to the ballot. Let's take a listen to that video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Is this the new phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. Big screen, big storage. I cannot remember the last time I had so many different
options. At U.S. Cellular, new and current customers can get any phone from any brand free.
Are you actually texting them?
I don't know. I just thought I would just...
Well, John, this result was far from guaranteed as the council went back and forth on the project. A proposal to pare the price down to $95 million was defeated 6-1, and the discussion ranged from the 25% property tax increase to the proposed new auditorium in the project. But in the end, the council voted to send the $115 million project, which would build 2 new school buildings in Cape Elizabeth, to the voters this November in a referendum. The buildings would house Pond Cove Elementary School and Cape Elizabeth Middle School, and Cape Elizabeth High School would be renovated. Part of the building that houses the current elementary and middle schools was built in 1933. Residents from both sides of the issue spoke out in tonight's public hearing, with opponents of the new schools saying that the 25% property tax increase would price even more people out of Cape Elizabeth, while supporters say delaying the project would be essentially kicking the can down the road.
This tax increase will make Cape Elizabeth less affordable than it is now.
Not wanting to pay for a project doesn't negate the need for it. Providing schools that are adequate, equipped for modern learning, it's a cornerstone of what a town provides its citizens.
Now, the $115 million price tag is already lower than what was originally proposed at $126 million. Opponents of the project say that Cape Elizabeth is getting older and that the school population is shrinking, while supporters say that good schools are a reason that people would move here. It'll all come to a head in November when this project will be decided by the voters in a referendum. Live in Cape Elizabeth, James Cargan, WMTW News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Safety concerns grow and college move in week in Burlington. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC 5 Vermont.
Best Tile delivers service in every tile.
Quiche, madame.
The tile! Creating beautiful rooms from start to finish. Best Tile.
Later this week, the city of Burlington will see a huge influx of college students as move-in week gets underway.
But this year, an added safety concern is on the minds of the administration, students, and police. NBC5's Lauren Granada joins us live from UVM's campus tonight with a new effort to keep students safe. Lauren?
Alice and Liz, about 160 of these blue light emergency posts are scattered around campus, but the UVM safety commissioner tells us that they don't actually get used often. And with the recent uptick in gunfire incidents downtown, the school launched a new system. Instead of having to walk up to one of those posts, students can get help by a simple click of a button.
I'm excited for the school year to start.
In just a few days, Burlington's population will grow by about 13,000 as students from the University of Vermont and Champlain College move in to begin their fall semester.
This will be our first year without COVID, kind of interrupting since my first year of university.
But some students are returning to the Queen City with an added concern.
I'm definitely unsettled by all of the gunfire events that have happened.
The most recent, a shooting at the popular waterfront skate park, just one of the many downtown spots frequented by college students.
They all think they've invented the idea of having fun and getting together with their friends, and sometimes that becomes boisterous.
Which is why the Burlington Police says it's working with multiple partners to ensure the safety of the whole community.
Our tools are evolving.
UVM's new Public Safety Commissioner, Mike Sherling, says the recent gunfire incidents are at the top of the list of safety concerns.
Knowing what to do, knowing how to call quickly, and knowing how to stay safe is important.
The school recently launched a virtual blue light system for students and staff to call or text 911 or campus police through the Live Safe app.
There's a component of the application called Safe Walk, where you can identify other people that are willing to have a virtual walk with you.
Efforts to help keep students on and off campus, along with the rest of the community, safe.
Getting to know neighbors and just trying to prevent any friction in the neighborhoods is one of the things that's important.
Now, UVM police will also be patrolling downtown Burlington off campus, where a lot of students spend time in the next few weeks. We're live in Burlington. Lauren Granada, NBC5 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Three Arkansas officers suspended after video showed them striking man during arrest. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
She's supposed to be the one. I used to believe in the one. And then I realized there's plenty of savings in the sea. Amazon has daily deals that shake your soul. What? I'll go check on those tater tots.
To that disturbing video, and now 3 Arkansas law enforcement officers have been suspended tonight. The video captures a violent arrest. We warn you, it's difficult to watch, and tonight the governor of Arkansas calling it reprehensible. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
Tonight, 3 law enforcement officers in Arkansas are suspended as officials investigate this video. Officers seen striking and kneeing a man during a violent arrest Sunday morning.
This is bad.
Police identifying the man as 27-year-old Randall Ray Worcester of South Carolina. He's accused of threatening and spitting on a store clerk at a Mulberry convenience store. Officers later finding Worcester nearby.
The officer asked him if he had any weapons on him, and he said he did, and I believe he at one point handed it over to the officer.
The sheriff's department saying the suspect turned violent when they moved to detain him. But it is unclear what exactly happened before the start of the video. But tonight, Arkansas's governor promising a full investigation, already calling the conduct reprehensible.
This is not what our law enforcement community represents. It's not the proper response, and they will be reviewed and appropriate action taken.
Worcester was taken to the hospital and treated for his injuries. He is now facing a slew of charges, including battery, assault, resisting arrest, and allegedly making terroristic threats. The officers identified today as Crawford Sheriff's Deputy Zach King and Levi White, and Mulberry Police Officer Tell Riddle.
The officers, none of them are rookies. They've been in law enforcement for some time.
David, those 3 officers are on paid administrative leave pending the results of the investigation by the Arkansas State Police. But we also know the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Department of Justice are investigating whether Worcester's civil rights were violated. And David, we learned today that there is dash cam video of what led up to this, but it has not yet been released. David.
All right, Marcus Moore on this developing story for us. Marcus, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for tuning in and watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.